Meanwhile, it sounds like Dartham and Leon will be doing some research for the rest of the night. Cool. I would like for both of you to roll a research roll, please, as you try to...
Could I use historical or arcane lore?
Sure.
Which one?
Either one.
All
Either
right,
one.
don't matter.
Whichever's
So
higher.
+2 to whatever I roll here. 17.
Okay.
18 with 4 stunt points.
Okay. Between the two of you, you finally will be able to... translate not only the books, but some of the notes. It looks like the Black King scribbled some of their extra notes onto the books. And there is a section that talks a lot about the magisterials, as well as the gods, the old gods, that you have not gotten information from before. Many of which is the same information you knew before. So you do learn that the Forge Rite is very physically strong, and he has natural armor. That is the thing about his natural armor is that it automatically shifts its resistance type with whatever was the last damage type dealt to it was. So if the last attack on it was piercing, then it shifts to having a resistance against piercing. And then if it's attacked by a different weapon, then it'll shift to that resistance temporarily. You can see that there are notes that the Black King actually wrote in weaknesses for each one. So weakness for the Forge Rite, not the smartest of the bunch, is basically what it said as a weakness. For the Appraiser of Slavery, all you learn is that the Appraiser of Slavery is a lyrium specialist, which you already kind of knew because the Appraiser is the person who essentially created the green lyrium. And then scribbled weaknesses is extremely egotistical and vain. Outsmart him or devalue him is basically what it said. The Madman of Chaos can cast illusions. It says weakness. It basically says high willpower, otherwise run away. Is all that the person said. High willpower or run away. The Augur has foresight, but the interesting thing is that the way that the Augur's foresight works is it doesn't exactly tell the Augur what will happen in the future. It gives her probabilities of what will most likely happen, and she normally makes decisions based on what is the highest likelihood of what will happen, percentage-wise, for example. Weakness, question marks. The Augur's weakness is currently unknown to the Blackling. Razakale, as in the god, the old god Razakale, has the power to temporarily make you lose your memory. Not all your memory, but just parts of your memory, because she is the god of mystery and confusion, and can possibly cause you to temporarily forget how to do certain abilities or special attacks. Okay. Weak point, she has scribbled down. Weak point is its left elbow. Piercing damage, question mark? Lusacan can shroud itself in magical darkness and stealthy. Is very stealthy. Weakness, sensitive to very bad smell. And that's all the information you get from your research. Dartham, while you are researching with Leon, you doze off for just a moment. Just for a moment. And as you are dozing off, you have I'll let you decide whether this is a dream or not, but you start to hear singing, like the chakra singing. The other four don't hear this for whatever reason, but you hear this, and you have a feeling that maybe your gut is telling you that you're hearing this not just because you are one of the avatars, but because you yourself are a darkspawn. That somehow you're able to hear this, and maybe the other four can't. And you can hear voices. It sounds like it is the voices of the Sidereals. And you hear a low voice say, "Is everything ready?" And you hear a female voice say, "Yes. As soon as the distraction is in full force, we will begin." A second male voice, a little nasally, says, "Have they already moved? Are the chess pieces in place?" "They've already begun. I personally saw to it. It'll just be a matter of time before the rest of Thedas responds." "Including the Guardians and the Avatars?" "The Guardians, definitely. The Avatars, most likely. But we shouldn't take any chances." "What about the Guardian of Fire?" "It would make no sense for them to bring the boy all the way here. The Laurier is too overprotective of him." "Well played, everyone. Well played. Night and Mystery are ready to make the sacrifices. Everyone gather at Andraste's feet. Soon, what was once black will be golden again." And then that's the end of the message. Next morning will roll around. What do you do with all that information dump?
Question, I did plan on doing a checkup on Balin's room. That night, would I have had to have rolled a perception, or was he just fine?
Balin is fine.
Okay.
Balin is fine. He's probably was talking in his sleep, and it sounds like he's spitting out in his sleep. He's spitting out a whole bunch of random names in his sleep. And maybe he starts at the end. He starts singing, "Mix it all together, and you know you've got the best of both worlds."
Your boy has been tainted.
Your boy's been tainted. Maybe your boy's not okay. Nope, he's not okay. He's not safe.
He's been ruined by pop culture.
Yes.
Roll for basicness.
He's doomed to grow up drinking things like pumpkin spice lattes. Oh no, my boy.
And having lived,
He's gonna dress all black.
love.
He's gonna put on piercings. Oh no.
Okay, so Darathan would wake up, and I think probably he would have gone back to Darren once they finished the read. It was only like an hour or two, so he would head back and dozed off, woken up. Pretty like mellow, just kind of thinking through, and he quickly writes down everything he heard. And then kind of as everyone's at breakfast, he'll call everyone together.
Everyone is in, including the party members? Or just
NPCs too,
the
yeah.
NPCs too? Okay. I think they will have what is the Thedas version of a wheelchair wheel Nathan in, because he will insist on being present, at least.
And he would say, as everyone's gathered, "Well, I have some new information. While I was asleep, I heard some more chakra singing, I think because maybe a connection to the taint has been more solidified with this. And I heard the Sidereals. I could hear two male voices and a female. I assume the Forge-Right, the Appraiser, and the Augur. The Augur mentioned that everything was ready, and that they will begin as soon as the distraction is in full force.
Did they say where they were going?
It's said they've already begun. It'll be a matter of time until the rest of Thedas will respond. And they mentioned Guardians and us. That the Guardians would definitely respond, but that it was likely we would. They mentioned Balin as the Guardian of Fire. And the final words were, "Well played. Night and Mystery are ready to make the sacrifices. Everyone gather at Andraste's feet. What was once black will be golden again.
Andraste's feet.
Darren says that is a really weird thing to say, don't you think? I didn't consider the Magister Siderials to be Andrastian. They worship the old gods. Why would they care about coming to Andraste's feet?
Maybe that's where they're gathering up to do their ritual.
There's that big statue of Andraste in the Anderfels.
Then the other thing too is that Andraste did possess great power from the Maker, if script is correct.
Yeah.
That might be a weak point for them to get back to the Golden City.
They seem to want to do something to it. Maybe restore it, but sacrifices doesn't make me feel very good.
Maybe they're
And
trying to get back.
From what we gathered from our research, I think they plan to sacrifice the 2 remaining old gods.
Maybe they're. Wait, what if they're trying to get back to the Golden City?
Well, I'd imagine they want to do what we can do.
Well, best option maybe is to find this Andraste's feet, maybe where this is. Maybe see if we can make a counterpoint. But this could be also a distraction, or I don't know.
From what I gathered from at least the way they spoke, the distraction is going to be something else, but their ritual is supposed to be hidden via this distraction. Don't think they noticed me listening unless they did this on purpose.
It's going to be at this point that Violetta wasn't in this group, but Violetta goes to where you guys are meeting, and she'll sort of like knock on the doorway and say, "Russo, may I speak with you, please?"
If you all don't mind, I'll only be a moment.
Of course.
While he's gone, I'm gonna tend to Nathan's tear. I'm gonna stitch it up while he's gone.
I will go outside and speak to Violetta.
Russo, darling, I just received some interesting news. I did not want to alert everybody, but I wanted to inform you that I unfortunately am being summoned by the Guardians. Something happened. That's to put it lightly. Something bad is happening.
What's happening, dear?
Pretty much something that many of us foresaw for a while. Ravane is being attacked. Saharon is invading. They have airships. Lots of airships.
Goddamn Kuhn, of all the times you could fucking invade.
This, of course, is also, I'm sure, a personal attack to the Guardian of Water herself. So, because of that, it falls onto Guardian business, and therefore, I must be off. I can ensure that Balin is in good care here while I'm away. I spoke with Naraka, and she said that she would be willing to look after the child while I'm away.
Okay. Some things are starting to happen on our end, too.
I don't mean to put more of a burden on you as well, but as I said, leave this tragedy with us Guardians, and you all can continue whatever it is you need to do. I'm just not sure if Pasha or His Highness Prince Nathan knows about this. I'm sure that Maximilian is going to be responding to this as well.
Okay. By all means, I won't hold you. That takes precedence for the Guardians. Daretham intercepted a final message from the Sidereals, though, and the timing seems just a little too funny.
Oh? What was in the message?
They said the distraction's ready. They're ready to move of Lucican and Razakale and Andraste's feet.
A distraction?
Yeah. And
are you saying...
Both our groups were mentioned.
So are you trying to say that this attack is nothing more than a distraction?
I'm not saying it is, but there's a possibility.
Are you suggesting that the Guardians and myself shouldn't be attending to Saharon?
No, but is there anyone else that could help so we don't have all of our eggs in one basket?
As I said, the Guardians and probably Maximilian and who knows, maybe some of the other heroes of Ferelden might be involved as well, at least. That is what the general public sees us as when disasters like this happen. It's just a responsibility that you have to bear, and we can't really live normal lives because of it.
Shame, isn't it?
Not to have you worry about it, but it is a burden that is only temporary for myself. You do know that it is something that our son will have to burden eventually.
I know. You do good out there, and be safe, and I'll find you when I get back.
You as well. And she'll give you a kiss. And I think with that, she will leave something in your hand. It appears to be another voodoo doll, but this is a cuter looking one. It's a cuter looking voodoo doll. And she doesn't say anything about it. She just kind of leaves it in your hand. And then she will just give you a final kiss, blow you a kiss. And then she will finally turn and leave.
Okay, I got this. And then I'm gonna bag up the voodoo doll and then go back into the room. We're down the Guardians.
What's
You all right?
happening?
Ravain's being invaded by the Qun.
Can Pasha make a check? Was there any whispers amongst the higher ups that like, oh yeah, we're totally going to be invading Ravain this year, or is this coming completely out of left field for her?
The Arashok was, pretty gung-ho about doing it eventually. I don't think he was necessarily gung-ho about doing it now, but he was gung-ho about doing it eventually. The Aragena was pretty neutral about it, and the Arakun was actually against it. The original Arakun was actually against it. But you do know that Azra has been very verbal about her thinking that invading is a thing, and it wasn't her place, but she's voiced that that's something that she mentioned. If she were to take over as Arakun, that is something she would be pushing for with the Aragena and the Arashok. So you can probably put two and two together and think who might be remotely responsible for this attack happening now.
What's my character called? Pasha, there we go. Pasha's face, it's like she's like, yes, but in her eyes, there is just disappointment. And just of course you would. Good job, old friend. Why? Why are you making my life hard? There is just so much regret in her eyes as she's just nodding to this information okay.
Well, how's Nathan reacting?
Nathan looks a little bit sick to his stomach, not just because of his wound, but he looks very sick to his stomach, and he just kind of looks down and he sort of shakes his head and he says, many people said that this would happen to my father. Many people said that this would. And Rosie's going to say, but wait, according to what you said, Daretham, the Forge, right, said that they had something to do with the distraction?
They were unclear whether or not they were the cause of the distraction or whether it was just convenient. I frankly wouldn't put past them to take advantage of the situation, to send the madman to sow more chaos, or that they somehow orchestrated it. But either way, it's happening and they're responding because it's a response that's needed.
Tyrion says, I don't think this is the only one. I'm gonna harbor a guess that every nation probably has something going on. That's my harboring guess, but that's not our job.
I mean, to be quite frank, from what I've heard about the Kuhn, one nation being attacked is every nation's problem.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have airships, we are so much more mobile.
No, I know. It's just
It's a
I
good
think-
thing we
It
can all turn
kind of
into...
like maybe
Well-
kind of rubs his face.
The Kuhn
Darthan will just...
picked out Thetis before.
Darthan will just smile and say, well, assuming we succeed, which I hope we will, we'll at least be able to tear those airships down with our high dragons.
Pasha looks
If we
tad
don't have a
uncomfortable.
dissenter.
I'd rather you didn't send my people hurtling out of the sky. It's not. You can
Tear
get
down
the
doesn't-
armies to back
down doesn't-
down.
Tear down doesn't
So-
mean destroy.
If you could give them a safe crash landing, I would appreciate that.
This might also be a move out of desperation. Nathan, your father's term as elected monarch's near its end, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
And I have a feeling that most people that would succeed after him wouldn't be gung-ho to continue those treaties.
Probably not, especially given the current circumstances.
If I may, I think I know who is responsible for this. There was not exactly a succession crisis when I left, but the position of Arakune was opening up. The old one was going to retire, and he was looking for successors. Of the two candidates, one was very, very gung-ho about invading Ravane. The Arashok was also very gung-ho about invading Ravane. And the Aragena was sort of neutral if she got outvoted in this.
Well, still, this is a problem we need to find out after we're done with the side drills. This is a problem, but the side drills will bring something way worse.
The Kuhn is an issue after we deal with the wannabe gods.
Let's just hope the Guardians and Maximilian and whoever else is there, they will be able to hold them off, though. I mean, knowing them, they'll manage.
Wars usually take a while. Though they may be attacking now, there's still logistics and movement of troops. We have a little bit of time, but, you know.
The Kuhn's gonna have to make a lot of ground if they want to secure water, though.
Yeah. If they don't secure land, then they'll probably have to retreat. Probably.
Baum pipes up and says, not to change the subject, but I also wanted to ask a little bit more about this one part of the conversation that we didn't fully discuss, which was when the Magisters responded about the Guardian of Fire, and how we most likely would not bring the boy all the way there.
If I were a guessing man, which we kind of have to be in this situation, I think they're implying the Fire Guardian could do something to them or be more of a nuisance, but they don't expect him to be there because I won't let it.
Or maybe if all the Guardians are gathered together, their braces will be enhanced, so maybe if not with us, but with the other Guardians.
But why would they call out the one of fire in particular?
He's a child.
As a child, young. Not fit, he's he can't do much.
Wait. Fire region. Andraste statues in the fire region. That could be another reason why.
I also think that Halasair, she was a huge Andrastian as well, wasn't she? Rosie says.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was.
That place probably has a great importance to at least that soul.
The Neanderthals is very Andrastian by their own rights. They believe in the Maker as much as anyone else. But So what if maybe? Sorry, what if they're maybe trying to fake the lost energy that's there in the fire region, using it for the ritual, and maybe they don't need the guardian of fire there to stop it. Maybe. I'm just theorizing. I don't know.
If this conversation that they gave to Daretham is not a ruse, it does seem to suggest that the Siderials are afraid or concerned for the boy's presence where they are. But I'm not necessarily suggesting that we should bring him necessarily. I'm just pointing it out.
Without the bracer, Balin couldn't do anything, and Violet is going to have to take it.
Seems strange, though, Rosie says. If the augur is able to foresee things, then I would think she would also know that Balin wouldn't have the bracer with him, if that was the case. Especially if this supposed distraction was happening and they needed the guardians to be there. I would think the augur would think that Violetta and her bracer would be busy over with the distraction, so she should assume that Balin wouldn't have his bracer. So why worry about him being present where they are then, if that's the case?
Quick question. Has anyone actually, checked if Balin has magic? Obviously, he has the magic of the bracer, but Cedric isn't a mage. He's a Templar. Has anyone checked if Balin is a mage or
He's
otherwise?
never manifested signs of magic his whole life until the mark got shown.
Could
Doesn't
someone
always
check?
show early.
Our mages could check them out. I mean, can't you guys sense magic to a certain degree?
We could try.
Okay. Should I try to chase Violetta down to get that bracer?
I think at least inform her of the development with the Guardian.
Okay.
I'll
Before
go
I
check
go,
with Balin.
are we taking Balin with us or not?
That's your choice, Rousseau.
Maybe see if Violetta is able to come protect Balin.
Personally, it's gonna be a risk. Personally, it's gonna be risky. We're gonna bring Balin as just a child.
Question: do the Guardians have to go deal with the distraction? Can't the Guardians come with us?
No, they have to do it. It's Ravain,
Why?
I believe.
If the distraction is just a ruse, then the Guardians go there. But if the Guardians weren't to be seen defending Thetis from the Qun, that would greatly destroy morale, and it would lead people to question them. Not to mention the fact that if it is real, they're going to need help.
And any good distraction has contingencies, and if this is a distraction specifically made for the Guardians, I'm afraid that the losses that they would take without being there would be large.
Too much.
Rosie seems to be worried about this because, her father is a Guardian. And Darren says, "It does sound like the Guardians' hands are tied, but ours are not."
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get that bracer, and I better move quick.
Run.
I'm gonna see if I can catch Violetta right before she hops through the Illuvion.
Sure.
Like, hey, I really need that bracer.
And I'll go with Balin to check it for magic.
I'll start with Rousseau. You're going to go to her suite, and fortunately, it doesn't look like she's left yet, but you do sense something from the room where the crystal ball was, and it seems like Violetta is checking something on her crystal ball before she's leaving. And I'm going to say, Rousseau, that you go into the room. You see Violetta. She's in a trance, and she's got this crystal ball. And in the crystal ball, you actually see an image of a figure of a young man. I will drop it into Ascension. And the figure looks like that. And you can't help but feel like that figure looks a lot like Balin, but a lot older.
I'm just gonna tap on the side banister.
You tap on the side banister, Violetta comes out of her trance. The image of the young man with the fiery sword, pretty sweet fiery sword, disappears. Rousseau, sorry, I had something I needed to check before I left. What is it, dear?
I'm afraid I need to ask a favor that I really don't want to.
What is it?
I need to borrow your bracer.
Why? I'm about to go help the Guardians with the Qun.
Russo will pull out the chi crystal that he's got. I still want to leave you with help. But if based off the intelligence is true, I'm gonna need Balin and that bracer with me.
You're bringing Balin with you? I thought the whole point was we're supposed to keep him safe. I'm supposed to be keeping him safe.
I know, I really don't want to either. But if they're trying to get through the diminished region of fire to the Golden City, I need every resource I can get. I will defend him with every ounce of my being. What did you see?
I was just trying to do a check just to make sure that Balin would be safe here while I was gone, because that was going to determine whether or not I would actually leave. And I saw him as an adult. That's all I was able to see before you tapped me out of the trance. Rousseau, if you feel that you need to take Balin with you and you need to protect him, you don't have to do it alone. I can come with you as well.
Don't the Guardians need you?
I honestly think that they can manage. And if I was going without the bracer anyway, my abilities to help them would be diminished anyway. I'm sure they would understand.
Would we be able to get someone else to go in your stead that would be able to help? I don't want to leave them empty-handed with the Qun.
Do any of your party members wish to take my place?
I've got an idea for two. We can go ask them.
Okay. My highest priority, Rousseau, is my family now. And that includes both you and Balin. So if you're going to dive into the den of the beast, I want to come with.
Then I'm in no place to stop you, and he'll bend over and give her another kiss.
She returns it and says, "Good. So let's make sure that the vision I saw comes true then."
So I'd say we'll go back to the room. All right.
Yeah.
Balin's gonna come with. Violetta's gotta go. Someone else has to head in her place to deal with the Qun. I've got a couple ideas, but
Cool.
I have a couple people I'd volunteer, but if anyone wants to volunteer before I say them.
Daretham would kind of look over at Balm, and Balm had talked before about maybe being a hindrance because of being controlled. So Daretham just gives him a look like, if you want to.
I wouldn't be opposed if that were the case. I think that doing so would probably reveal the rest of the Awakened, however, and Fortuna's cover would be blown. But I will do so if you all believe that is my best place.
Then again, he would say, true, but there is a good public image if the first thing the Awakened do upon revelation was to save Thetis from Kunari.
I would be okay with it as well. I mean, my dad's there, so I do have a stake in being there with him. But then again, also, my cover would be blown, and the fact that we have a whole bunch of dwarven mages would be a little bit difficult to explain, especially to the circle of magi.
And that's 2 dwarven secrets right there.
Darren will say, I have no problem going as well. No secrets need to be spilled. I don't really have a stake in this myself, but if you think that it'd be appropriate for me to help out, I will do so, Darren says. And Nathan, he stands up from his wheelchair. My father is going to be there. So even though I'm not physically as good as I used to be, I am getting stronger. And he takes a step forward. Wherever you decide for me to go, I will be able to walk and help you, whether it's at the Enderfells or whether it's in Ravane. I can take her place if need be.
Darthan would kind of just say, well, as for the Dwarven Mage's secrets, I don't think that's any of our decision to make. But in terms of a PR move, I can't think of a better one for a first appearance of the Awakened. And I think, Nathan, if you could be there to explain to your father and the rest of Thetis the whole situation, that would help soften the blow.
It could also be a move to get more support from the Awakened Darkspawn. Maybe if the war starts turning a little sour, they can pull on more of the Awakened Darkspawn.
So Nathan and Balm.
That'd be my recommendation. Yeah. At OOC, Balm has low willpower, and again, it's a good PR move. And Nathan's kind of physically not as good, and again, it's a good PR move for the Awakened. So, yeah.
Okay. Russo's gonna kind of scan the room. Let's face it, the Awakened being hidden wasn't gonna last much longer anyhow. I think the best move that we could do, because you could bring some more of the Awakened forces to help with the Guardians and everyone else, that you go and rally your people.
Are you suggesting that I try to have all of Fortuna help with the battle at Ravane?
I'm not saying all, but if we're going to make the best move we can for the Awakened being part of the rest of society, this is the time.
It makes sense. Very well.
The only thing I would urge is do not weaponize your taint. That will be the one thing that hurts us, if possible.
Understood. I will make that very clear.
And at that, Darthan would look over at Tyrion and say, Tyrion.
Yes.
The amulet.
He takes it.
And Darthan would take it and then move over to Balm and hand him the amulet with the cure in it.
Thank you, Dartham. Do you not need it yourself?
I've got this now. And obviously you know the side effects, and it doesn't have to be you, but you have proof there that it's at least possible to prevent the taint, which can help. And then if Nathan goes along with, he can help on the upper levels of Thetis.
I can try to help, Nathan says, everyone understand. That I can do. And Darren is saying, this all makes sense. It would just be really rough sending the person with the highest willpower to not go in and fight the Magisters of Siderials. Just saying.
Nathan, we need you with us. Think about it. Maximilian's term is almost up. If we're going to save any popularity and policy they had and avoid war with the Qun and keep them satisfied, the Awaken's the best bet.
So just Balm, or are we sending someone else?
If we send Balm, Rosie says, I'm sure we can send somebody with him to speak on his behalf. Maybe Master Ignaldo. People seem to like Master Ignaldo.
Maybe Nathan can write a letter to his father.
That can work too. That's a thing, Rosie says.
I give him some parchment here.
And if the Guardians are there, they know about the Awakened, so at least they can help when they show up.
That sounds like a plan. Didn't mean to completely reverse what you all were suggesting, Darren says, but I'm just saying Nathan was really helpful
It's a good
the
point.
last time we had a Sidereal, so yeah.
Good point.
Nathan, do you think writing would be enough?
I believe so.
Okay.
I write really well, and I can be very persuasive, Nathan says. with
I
a
give
smile.
him parchment and my feather pen. There you go. Get to work.
I'll write a general one, as well as one directly to my father. Maybe don't mention to him that I almost died by a doctor's hand, an uncertified doctor's hand.
You're the one writing the letter.
You want to there, but
Would I be able to roll an etiquette to help Nathan?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You got
Could
a +4.
22 with the
26.
+2.
Woo!
I have a +2.
Oh, you have a +2?
Yeah.
No, you had the +4, right?
No,
It was me
Tyrion
and
has
Sasha
the
had the
+4.
yeah.
Tyrion has the +4
Oh,
because of his friendship with
Oh,
Nathan.
friendship. Got it.
You know, friendship.
Friendship bonus.
Friendship.
Yes. With that bonus, you definitely will be able to boost Nathan's documents, and they are going to be extremely persuasive to whoever reads them. So, maybe even help change Maximilian's mind.
I
which
doubt
is
it.
really difficult. Doubt it, but I'm just trying
Press
to make
F to
make you feel
doubt.
good. Yeah, press F.
Also, whoever's doing animations and fan art, please draw us a big, awesome battle of Guardians versus Airship Kyun. I want to see it.
Yeah, yes.
With like
yes.
Darkspawn coming up from the depths.
Yeah, with Bald leading the Darkspawn, the Black King there. I want to see it. I want to see it, guys.
Oh,
Come on.
yeah. The Black King's gonna be like, this is haven't had this much fun in ages. Okay.
It's a good thing we saved him.
And
Yeah.
also the big brood mother, Razakale brood mother, just
Oh,
yeah.
Oh
all right.
no.
tentacles flying. Oh no.
Pasha kind of goes up to him and I guess she'll kind of just start helping him pack
Sure.
because she wants to feel
Yeah,
helpful.
he doesn't have much, but yeah, go ahead.
And
He probably has some things for his massage, like massage
Yeah.
oils and acupuncture stuff, but go ahead.
and she'll just say, "Oh, right. There are a couple of things I know about army tactics in the Qun. It's not a lot, but it might help. For one, if what I think might happen will happen, we aren't really too bothered hurting the common people. We tend to focus on nobles and military strategies. If we can avoid harming the everyman, we will, because they make for decent converts. We don't tend to go after buildings, as I said, unless it's someone specific who lives there. We like to send assassins on ahead, so be wary of them. And also, go for the horns. That's their weak spot. Go for the horns. If you can get them stuck, they will be stuck for hours. Trust me, I've seen it.
He takes in everything that you're saying, and when you are done giving him, your rundown and tips, he says, "I must admit, Pasha, I'm very surprised. Why are you helping me to win against your own people?"
I was also going to follow this up with, please don't crush them too hard. The Kunari military, they're like a sword. They are simply wielded by whomever, and they will go and do whatever they will.
Ah, much like myself and the other Darkspawn were used as living weapons.
Effectively, yes. It would be far much more worthwhile if you were to go after, I would argue, the Arashok, but if the Arakune is who I suspect she is, then that's a whole nother story. I can handle her. It's just a matter of if you could just hold off the army a little bit, I might be able to persuade. I apologize.
I admit I didn't have as much sympathy before, but now that you pointed out how similar it seems like the Kyonari are with the Darkspawn, at least symbolically similar, I do believe that everyone, like myself, deserves a second chance. The Darkspawn somehow was given the opportunity to change and evolve who they were. Part of me wishes that the same could happen to the Kyun.
I hope that too. And hopefully I get the chance to do that in the future. Admittedly, what Azra is doing now is not helping that cause. That woman. Always frustrating.
What does this woman look like?
She is tall, proud, has an arrogant expression on her face at all times, constantly looks like she's smelling something horrific. Long white hair that she keeps in a plait. Her horns they jut out and to the side, like that. She's around my age. We trained to be Tamazrans together.
And as the Arakune, I'm assuming that she will probably stand out. Her clothing will probably stand out amongst the rest.
As the Arakune, I would doubt that she would be at the battle. The Arashok absolutely would, and Pasha would describe the Arashok if she could, and she would describe his armor, and she would say, if you can take him out, the army should fall back. It's all hierarchy based. They'd need to wait for new orders from the new Arashok.
Good information. Thank you for letting me know.
No worries. Stay safe, Balm. I still have to give you those punching lessons.
He will smile. I wish I could help you as well, as you fight the Siderials. But I think that Dertham is right. This is the right decision to make. And this is where my services can be best placed.
Serve well, Balm. Serve well. And Pasha will back away.
So Pasha would head off and Dartham would walk up. I feel kind of bad you going off into a big battle without me.
I as well, Dartham. It definitely breaks my heart that I won't be around to watch over you as you fight the Siderials. But I guess a part of me would continuously be worried that I might end up inadvertently hurting you. So perhaps this is for the best.
Yeah. And that way, well, I may have improved, but I think out of all the Darkspawn I know, no. There's no one better at calming minds than you.
I think that during the battlefield, if there's any doubt in my head as to what to do next, I will immediately think, what would Dartham do?
Don't do that. Don't.
Very well. What would Russo do?
Yes, much better. You need magic to think how I do, and even then I still wouldn't recommend it always.
Fair enough. The next time I see you, do you think that you will be a god?
I plan on it eventually, should it be possible. I don't know if that'll be the next time, but I don't know.
Well, if you do, don't forget the little people, he says as he's like towering over you. Don't forget the little people.
I will be sure to always give 5-star reviews on your massages.
He will go over to you and he will very gently give you a hug. very gently.
Give him a hug as well.
And Darethim, give yourself a +2 friendship bonus today and the next session. For today and the next final
the
battle.
success score.
Friendship.
So
Friendship.
now I'm very easily able to cast the Killing Curse because I only need to roll a 9 on my dice.
Nice. Thank you, Bomb.
Still probably not going to do that, but hey.
Okay.
I mean, he'd say goodbye, good luck, and head off.
I guess as everyone's saying goodbye to Bomb, I'll just sort of talk quietly to Rosie.
Am I a terrible person, Leon? I do love Bomb, but am I a terrible person by admitting that honestly I'm a little more eased that Bomb's not going to be with us during the Magister Sidereal fight?
Well, I mean, no, because, well, you did have a traumatic incident, and that doesn't, mental wounds don't really heal that well, but, I mean, Bomb is served better in his own place, and we can save the world in our own place, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And who knows? Maybe we might be able to fix this sidereal problem quickly and catch up with the rest of them in Ravane if they're still going at it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got our dragon form. We can fly over there lickety-split.
You all do? I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how are you feeling about this big old fight?
I'd like to say that I'm worried and I'm scared, but I don't know, Leon. I'm going with you, so I don't feel at all worried and scared.
He sort of gives her hand a squeeze. That means a lot. And I'll try to live up to to this promise.
Leon, I'm really proud of you. Like, ever since you came to terms with, all of the blood magic-y stuff and things that happened to you back then, you've really, I don't know. I liked you before, but I just find myself liking you more and more each day.
It's that hint of divinity, isn't it?
She laughs a little bit, and she says, "That sounds like a personal product or something, like a deodorant. Hint of divinity."
We should start our own line.
Sorry, that's the merchant side of me thinking, she says quickly.
Well, we need something to do after, well, all this is over. We can't have a world-ending event happen every day.
I was gonna say, we totally need to go on vacation to the Chi Isles after this. I overheard Darren talking to Darethim about setting up their own, vacation house over at the Chi Isles, where you can eat all of the Chi fruit that you want, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if Russo will be coming back because he's being a little bit of a grumpy pants about that, but maybe we might be able to sway him to come back.
Yeah, Grumpy Pants does describe him pretty well. He sort of says that in a whisper to make sure that Russo doesn't overhear.
He does seem a little happier, though. Ever since we came to Haven, he seems to have, he seems to be brooding a little less.
Yeah, I think it's the company.
Oh?
Oh, because anyway, so what are you planning on doing after all this is said and done? And I guess I should ask, do you mind having company?
Of course, I would love to have company. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I never really had any set plans other than just the whole reason I ended up with your group was because I needed to keep an eye on Darethim, and Darethim doesn't seem to need me to keep an eye on anymore, so I think I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want, with whoever I want.
Hey, yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you're okay with hiding from the White Spire, because I don't think they're gonna, like me very much after this.
Oh, Leon, I've pretty much lived my whole life hiding from most people. I actually became pretty good at it too, so maybe I can give you some tips and pointers about hiding from other people.
Yeah, well, let's explore the world, just you and I. Maybe sell a few things on the side.
I would like that.
He leans in and gives her a kiss.
She'll give you a kiss back, and when she pulls away, her tone changes a little bit, and she says, I have one more thing I want to ask you, Leon. When all of this is over, what's going to happen with Pyrus?
I have been advocating for his continued existence, but I don't know if we can continue his existence. The knowledge he has in him is pretty dangerous. I mean, I can talk to Rousseau about it, and then since we're going to be, not visiting the White Spire for a while, maybe we can keep him around for a bit longer. Maybe find another book for him.
I was going to say, this may sound like it might be a stupid idea, but can we destroy his pages, but not the book itself?
Oh, convert
Or
him.
even put new pages in him?
He doesn't have to be a blood magic book. He could be a grimoire of some other magic.
That's true. He could even be an actual cookbook if he wanted to be an actual cookbook.
He could be. Man, that he would be a pretty good teaching, a teacher of magic, especially, well, he taught me.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but something tells me that I don't think Pyrus cares what he teaches. He just seems to like to teach something. So maybe turning him from a blood magic book into a totally different book, maybe he wouldn't mind. It might be actually a good change of pace.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely talk to Rousseau about that. Thank you so much, Rosie. I've been really beat up about this for a while now.
Well, I mean, you know what my feelings are about blood magic, but the feelings I have for blood magic doesn't really translate directly to Pyrus himself. I actually had grown to like Pyrus a little bit. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, maybe we'll...
Especially when he's not trying to kill you anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, after you get around his homicidal maniac tendencies, he's pretty endearing.
I just know that you were really worried about it, and I just thought maybe I could think of a way to fix it. Because I wouldn't want you to feel like you lost anyone if you didn't have to lose anyone after this. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, maybe I can put my thesis in him.
He could teach people about chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. And maybe when I'm a god, he can be like my holy book and be and spread my teachings.
That means they would have to make copies of him.
Oh no. Pyrus 2.0.
That would be kind of amazing. That means that Tyrion would have more people in his family.
His family
His family tree would completely expand from that point. Tyrion would be related to a bestseller.
Oh man. Maybe he can mooch off of his third fame.
You know what? We make a good team.
Yeah. And we'll make even killer business partners.
That's right, buddy, she says as she moves in playfully.
Buddy. He gives her like a big old bear hug.
You go and give her a bear hug, and I will say that you will be able to enjoy a +2 love bonus for today and the rest of next session. Yay. Does everybody have a bonus yet? Oh, Pasha doesn't have one? All right. Well, maybe something... We still have 30 minutes. Maybe something will happen in 30 minutes.
Athon, get in there and kiss her.
Yeah, quick Athon.
Quick Athon, enjoy a night with her.
Tyrion went to do something with Daretham, and then
Well, we haven't
Troop,
spoken.
and then maybe
We
we can
haven't spoken
we can
about
smudge Athon in there. So.
Maybe you can squeeze out... Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
We won't
Tyrion
take
and
long.
Daretham, and maybe we'll throw some Athon in there. Go ahead.
And then Rousseau, yeah. So maybe this is doing preparations on all that. I don't know if like Daretham comes up to Tyrion. Maybe.
Probably Daretham would just be preparing himself, so I imagine Tyrion would approach him.
Oh no, let's actually do this. We're preparing each other like we were side by side. We're just having our own
Okay.
desks of areas. We're just
Yeah, yeah.
preparing our equipment. come a long way, Dartham.
Certainly. You can see he's practicing like extending and retracting his claws using his ring's ability.
Yeah, he's cleaning his gun.
Well, suppose it's our final battle, if you will.
It is. I just hope we will all live through it.
Yeah, me too. First thing after you're gonna do.
Depends. I mean, who knows? Probably I'll have to go to the Circle White Spire for Pyrus. After that, I don't know. I can see myself in two options. Either I go around continuing the work as a one-drug doctor, or I go back to the winter and they trial me.
Okay.
And then from there, well, probably put me into prison for a couple of years for the death of Amron.
Well, those are certainly options. A lot more exciting than mine.
Exciting. What are you gonna do? You're probably gonna go with Darren, find a lovely place.
We're gonna
Rest a
build
bit.
a house on the Chi Isles and rest there for a month and not do anything.
I mean, that's what you would do. Seeing as you got more cheery now.
Well, you were starting to get more broody, so I had to compensate somehow.
How am I? Okay, look, I had a good reason why I'm broody.
I know.
I don't know if we're gonna survive Darrington, but it's been good working with you. You've been a
Likewise,
good
Darren.
companion. I just hope that we'll all make it to the end.
Me too. And Tyrion,
Yeah?
whatever you may think of yourself, you're a good friend.
He smiles and he says, "Thanks, Darrington. You give a lot of good wisdom. Sometimes."
Well, I suppose 1300 years does some good things for you.
Well, 1300 years and being with people around you who have different opinions and all. Someone had to grow a spine. Two people did.
We'll grow one in our own time.
We all will. You think of going God mode?
I plan on it, yes.
Hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Not sure if you enjoy being a god. I think it's more of a duty rather than a thing to enjoy.
Either or. It's both, really. I mean, yeah, you have a duty, but hey, you got godlike powers. You do good things with it. Do the things you believe and all.
It's all you can do at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, Dartham, it's been a hell of a journey. I hope that you find a good place after all this.
You as well, Tyrion.
Well, I'm done. And he nods and he heads off.
And as he heads off, Dartham says, "Oh, and make sure you come to me before we actually get to the statue. I need to put an anti-magic ward on you so you don't immediately get blood-slaved."
He looks back. I am the good shot, right? as he continues and he leaves the place and gets where everyone is gathering up.
So, Pasha she's, just given all of this advice to Balm. I think she's feeling pretty bummed out that, like, God damn it, my people are going to war. Why would you do this? And she's gonna go find Vala, and she's going to take her out, and she's just going to say, what do you think about doing something a little risky? Risky, but potentially impressive looking. Yes. And Pasha will, saddle her up. There we go.
Yep.
And they're going to fly out. And Pasha is going to be using her magic as they're flying. So I think she's using her wind weaving so that it's like steady the winds. We're going to have it's going to be okay. And I think they're doing like acrobatic stunts, so that like going up really high, then free falling, going over the waves. And then what Pasha is going to do, she's kind of going to like barrel roll. Like, is it called a barrel roll? I don't know when you
It's called an aileron roll.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yes, we know what you mean. Yes.
She's going to go up, and are there like clouds? Can there be clouds?
Sure.
What Pasha is going to do at the very top, I'm just imagining like small clouds that are kind of dotted above. She's not getting too close to them, but as she goes up, she raises her palm and does a chain lightning, and it's going to zap from the clouds. And then I have this image of Vala and Pasha kind of dancing amongst the bolts, and then flying back down and just kind of walking through Haven looking epic. Just like, my people may be dicks, but I look so fancy. Yes, that's what I'm on.
The entire experience is so exhilarating and so freeing, because it's like we described, you've got this pent up, there's all this magic that's been bubbling up, and Daretham always says you need to, on a regular basis, release, and this was your chance to just, it's almost like if there are days like you had a rough week and you just want to scream, just go out into the woods by yourself and just let loose and scream. Like, that's the feeling that you had going through this, and you and Valor just have this beautiful moment of just bonding with each other, and Valor is definitely enjoying it as well. And so that definitely will give you a +2 friendship bonus going into the next session. Yay! So everyone has either a friendship or love bonus going in. Yay! Cool. And then finally, Rousseau, I guess, is going to set up a speech or final words to whoever he wants to give it to.
I'm gonna say everyone's kind of gathered, getting ready to go where they're gonna go, and we're all in like the center area of the breach. Then Russo was gonna basically walk Balin up to Violet and then go stand in front of everyone. I'm not going to lie, everyone. The next 2-3 days will not be very easy. If anything, it's hung in the balance more than it ever has before. But deep down, it doesn't matter where anyone started, where they're going, or who they are. You can be a lost speaker, you can be a young boy, you can be a hex mage, you can be a Tamazaran, you can be an ogre, you can be a blood orphan with problems, you can be an escaped slave. The point is we're all working towards fixing what has to be fixed. And we should not pray for an easy time doing it, or success, but that we're able to basically save for the future day to come. And tomorrow, we cancel the Ascension.